Strangely, wink wink, Stranger Things Season 4 Part 1 didn't end in as much of a cliffhanger as expected. There are a lot of open-ended plots, to be sure, but Episode 7 pretty much felt like a natural pause point for the season. 11 has her powers back, and we know all there is to know about Vecna. Spoiler alert, he's the long-lost one and son of Victor Creel. There's a lot of convoluted timeline stuff that comes into play with those two plot points, but the gist is, 11 was blocking out huge chunks of her past, Dr. Brenner crams her back in a sensory deprivation tank in the present so she can remember and thus regain use of her powers, she flashes back to her battle with 1 after he betrays her and kills everybody, and just as she's about to lose, 11 accidentally opens up a portal to the Upside Down and knocks 1 in, ultimately creating Vecna. Whether the neat little bows on those two stories will be to the show's advantage when the final 2 super long episodes of Part 2 drop in July is yet to be seen. In the meantime, we still have some burning questions as the show enters its mini-hiatus. When we left our intrepid heroes at the end of Season 4 Part 1, nope, it's never not going to be a mouthful, Joyce and Murray had successfully reunited with Hopper after the 7-episode stretch of trying to rescue him from the Russian gulag. There's a very cute long embrace where Hopper hopefully realizes that all of his "I'm cursed" doom and gloom nonsense was just that, but the three are faced with a new challenge now that they're reunited. How in the heck are they getting back to America? Joyce and Murray crashed Yuri's plane after attempting to escape, and despite sparking an unlikely friendship with Hopper, it seems improbable that Dmitri will help given his fear of being labeled as a traitor by his children. Steve found himself face-to-face with some demo bats at the end of Episode 6. We get a good look at a festering wound before Nancy is able to get him bandaged up to stop the blood loss, and, given the look of things, it seems possible that a loss of blood isn't going to be Stranger Things' favorite babysitter's biggest problem. Then again, we only get a brief glimpse at his injuries while they're in the Upside Down. Maybe they'll become normal, not-so-festering demo bat bites now that they're back in the right-side-up version of Hawkins. Okay. So, thanks to Nancy and Robin's investigation into Victor Creel, we know that the music helps ward Vecna off. Dusty puts this to use before the creature can turn Max into human origami like his other victims, but there are no further attempts by Vecna after they initially save their friend. What's the deal with that? We see Max periodically put on the headphones throughout the rest of the season, but it seems strange that we don't see the big bad try to come for her again. What kind of villain doesn't make it his mission to get the one that got away? It seems especially out of character given what we know about Vecna's origins after the finale. Vecna's curious lack of follow-through takes us to the next question. What does he want exactly? We know he's got mommy and daddy issues and has ultimately decided that humanity should go, but what's his endgame? Is he creating a horde of crunchy followers with less than useful joints now that he's mutilated them with the intent to take over Hawkins? We did get a few hints about culty proclivities from the Hellfire Club's D&D session earlier in the season, but a deep dark hole where he and his spiders can thrive seems like exactly where a baddie like Vecna would want to hang out. So escape seems like a weird motivation, and he definitely isn't looking for any friends. Strong, what do you want? Energy, Vecna.
What do you want?
Love triangles are always exhausting, but you know what we don't need in an overstuffed season? You guessed it, a love triangle. Why are we here? What are we doing? Why are we doing it? Jonathan and Nancy have reached a complicated stage in their relationship, which is the impetus for the two remaining separated throughout the first hunk of Season 4. But those struggles would have been more than enough on their own. Adding Steve back in as a will she or won't she return to the lowest point of her life for Nancy is an odd addition to an overlong season that will hopefully get resolved sooner rather than later in Part 2. For more Stranger Things shenanigans, check out our interviews with the cast as they break down what it was like finding new character dynamics in Season 4 and our Stranger Things Season 4 review. For everything else, stick with IGN.